Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Bob Schick, and I'm the chair of the Keuka College Board of Trustees, and I declare open Keuka College's 105th Commencement Convocation. It is my pleasure to welcome to today's ceremony the culmination of the 2012-13 academic year, the members of the class of 2013, their families, friends, and our honored guests. To the graduates, I extend heartfelt congratulations. When we think of commencement, we think about in terms of an ending, the completion of a student's program of studies. But of course, the word commence means begin. So today it's only appropriate that as we celebrate with the class of 2013 the end of their studies, we also celebrate the beginning of their new and promising lives as Keuka College alumni. Members of the class of 2013, it is the conviction of the Board of Trustees that you have been provided the knowledge, experience, and tools to leave this beautiful campus and begin the next chapter in your lives. You start this chapter equipped with leadership skills and a passion for social responsibility that leaves you well positioned to make a difference in your communities and the world. We, the Board of Trustees, the faculty, staff, and alumni, expect a great deal from you, and we look forward to hearing about your personal and professional accomplishments when you return to Keuka Park. And remember, you don't need an invitation. You can come back at any time. Once again, please accept a heartfelt congratulations from the Board of Trustees. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the president of Keuka College, Dr. Jorge Luis Diaz Herrera.
Thank you, Bob, for that welcome and for all the good work as chair of the Board of Trustees that you do. I want to recognize Sophia Biefer, past president of the Holocaust Resource Center at Buffalo Board of Directors and current executive board member. Sophia spoke our baccalaureate service this morning. Sophia, thank you again for your inspiring words and for spending Commencement Day with us. Now I'm pleased to introduce G. Peter Jemison, member of the Seneca Nation of Indians, to offer the prayer of invocation.
Nyaweskano Swagwego, Onundawaka Ni A. In our language, we call ourselves the people of the Great Hill. And that word is Onundawaka. At this time, I want to offer words of thanksgiving in the tradition of the Seneca people. We call it Ganonyo Nate Haikwagai Wadeko. We're going to lay down a path and we're going to follow it as we offer words of thanksgiving to our Creator. First of all, we acknowledge the well-being of the people, that all of you have arrived here safely, that we are in good spirits, that we have greeted old friends and we have met new friends. We have put our minds together now as one for the mission ahead of you. We give thanks to our Creator, and now our minds are one. We turn our thoughts to our Mother the Earth, who is supporting our feet all the days of our life. We give thanks to our Mother the Earth that she continues to bring forth these gifts that each and every one of us depends upon, and all living things. And now our minds are one. We turn our thoughts to the waters, this lake behind me, the Finger Lakes, the great salt bodies of water, the creeks, the rivers, the ponds, and all of those creatures that live in them. We offer words of thanksgiving for the waters, and now our minds are one. For those medicine plants that grow the closest to the earth, for us the especially big one is this wild strawberry, which will soon be appearing. We gather together and we give a special thanks when we see it. We know that the cycle of life is beginning again. So at this time we offer words of thanks for the medicine plants. And next we offer words for the four-leggeds, even this small squirrel I see running on the lawn, as well as a great large deer. We also offer words of thanksgiving for the bison, for the elk, for the moose, and etc. They have provided for us. We give thanks to the Creator, and now our minds are one. For all of these winged creatures whose songs we hear early in the morning, at this time we direct our attention to the Creator, and we offer words of thanks for the small as well as the large winged creatures, and now our minds are one. And then for the foods that have been placed here on the earth for all of us to use. Especially important to us are the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. At this time, we are placing them in our gardens, and we're going to tend to them throughout the growing season. We offer words that they are still doing their responsibilities according to the way the Creator intended, and now our minds are one. We turn our thoughts to these trees, the many different types of trees that are growing about us. The sugar maple has already brought forth its gift, and we look forward to those fruits of the trees later in this year. Sometimes we warm our house with these trees. We give thanks at this time to the Creator, and now our minds are one. We give thanks for the warm and gentle breeze. Although it's a bit brisk today, we know the power of the wind can be very extreme. We only have to look at Oklahoma to understand its fierce power, but most of the time it is a benefit to us. So we offer words of thanksgiving now for the winds from the four directions, and now our minds are one. We give thanks for the thunder beings that roll across the sky and bring us a fresh water in the form of rain. Even the lightning has a role to play, and so we direct our thoughts to the Creator, and we give thanks for the thunder beings and the lightning, and now our minds are one. This morning, our elder brother, the sun, began his journey. He is bringing the daytime light and warming it just enough so that our plants will grow here, so that all of us living here can endure this place and enjoy our time here on our Mother the Earth. We give thanks to our elder brother that he continues his work, and now our minds are one. And next we turn our attention to whom we call our grandmother, the moon. Our grandmother, the moon, has many responsibilities. She controls the tides on the earth. She makes it possible for women to have a cycle by which they bring forth life into this world. We direct our thoughts now to our Creator, and we offer words of thanksgiving to our grandmother, and now our minds are one. All about my grandmother, I see stars, both the morning and the evening stars. Each and every one of them has a role to play. Certain ones we use to set the time for our midwinter ceremonies. We call a constellation Harikwat. Some refer to it as the Pleiades. We give thanks now for the stars, and now our minds are one. To all people, messengers have come with instructions of how we are to live as human beings upon this earth. We give thanks for those great messengers who came among us and delivered those messages. One of them especially important to us, we refer to him as Handsome Lake. He delivered a message we call the Gaiwio, or the Good Word. And we hear that message, our people, each fall. It takes 4 half days for that recitation. At this time, I direct my thoughts to the Creator. If there is anything that I left out, it was not my intention. I ask that this great throng of people direct your thoughts toward our Creator, and we show gratitude and thanksgiving for these many gifts that you and I enjoy at this time. And those are my words, Daneho.
Thank you. Our national anthem will be performed by Ann Mullen and Melissa Sheridan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
Thank you. Please be seated. I'm pleased to join Bob Schick in welcoming you to Keuka's 105th commencement. On behalf of the faculty, the administration, staff, students, and alumni of the college, I congratulate the members of the class of 2013. Please join me in thanking the members of the class of 13 and others who have worked hard to make this commencement weekend a success. The leadership of the senior class, the officers, they have been superb. So please send thanks to President Devin Filipiak, Vice President Rhys Cunningham, Secretary Megan Marks, and Treasurer George Beaver. Congratulations. I'm also grateful to all the campus commencement committee, led by our registrar Julia Bees. And a special thanks to Sodexo Campus Services for all its hard work in setting up for the ceremonies. So please, applause again for all of them. All right, let me find my place. There's a special group of Keuka College alumni that we call the Pathfinders. These are members. The Pathfinder membership is reserved for those alumni who graduated 50 or more years ago. These people started many of the traditions we celebrate today. We are grateful for that, and we appreciate their leadership and loyal support. Two Pathfinders proceeded today, and I'd like them to stand. Please welcome Doris-Ann Weymert Osborne, class of 1951, and Dr. Barbara Schaefer Allardyce, class of 61. Thank you for coming today, Doris-Ann and Barbara, and thank you all the Pathfinders for all you do to support your alma mater. On this Memorial Day weekend, I ask that we remember those who served and who are serving our country everywhere. I'd like to ask all veterans who are with us here today to stand and be recognized. Two members of the class of 2013 have been selected to speak today. The first is Rhys Cunningham, an occupational science major from Red Creek, and one of two students representative to the Board of Trustees. Rhys?
A lot of people. Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, parents, family, trustees, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and finally, the class of 2013. Congratulations to all our graduate, ASAP, and traditional students alike for this great achievement. I would first like to extend my sincerest thanks for allowing me the privilege of speaking today at such a momentous and special occasion. It is truly humbling to be asked to speak at such an event. I'll try and keep this relatively short because I know we're all anxious for the main event. It seems like just yesterday we were all wide-eyed freshmen driving into Keuka Park for the first time, a time where for most of us, our only worries were whether or not our roommates were going to be cool and whether or not our parents were going to embarrass us in front of them. We were different people then. We thought we were adults ready to take on the world, but little did we know what the years here at Keuka would hold for us. I once was asked whether or not college was worth the sticker price. Back then, I would have had no idea whatsoever. All I knew was that it was time out of my own, away from my parents, and a time to have fun and to go to school as usual. Now, with hindsight being 2020, I believe I can answer that question, at least somewhat. We always ask ourselves, with every purchase we make, whether or not it's worth the cost. Whether or not paying for professors, educators, and staff members to test, teach, and demand things from us for hours and years at a time is worth it. If staying up all those late nights before tests or working days worth of hours on projects was worth it. If all those volunteer hours and extracurricular activities that we put work into just to make us stand out from the crowd of resumes out there was worth it. We wonder if the rising cost of tuition is indeed worth it. I've wondered it, but then I remember. I remember all the fun that I had in all those extracurriculars, whether it was intramurals, sports, clubs, or anything else. I remember all the people that I helped while I volunteered all those hours, all those unique people that I met that a person meets only once in a lifetime. I remember all those projects the professors loved and how I felt when they said so, all the tests that I did well on, and even the ones that I didn't. I remember all of the great people that this college employs that want only the best for me and try as hard as they can to make sure I succeed and to make sure that I have the best possible experience here. I remember all of the great friends that I've made in my 4 years here, ones that I hope last a lifetime. I remember much of the information that the professors demand of me. Yeah, I remember the information. I remember. We've been armed with the knowledge to succeed and given the opportunities to do so, both here while at Keuka and beyond. Thinking of life beyond Keuka is a scary thought. We've been in school for so long that the thought of going beyond into the real world that everyone keeps talking about is both scary and exciting. But I remember who I was when I graduated high school. And I believe that I can say for everyone that compared to who we are now as seniors looking on to jobs or graduate school, there's no comparison. I've evolved into this whole new being, this professional, this leader. I've evolved into, well, me. Although facing true adulthood and entering into a world beyond Keuka, a world beyond school, may be difficult and may be daunting, fear not, for we've been preparing for this moment our entire lives. Every event that we have gone through has helped shape who we are and who we will become. I have the utmost confidence that this graduating class is destined for great things. If we are prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember all of the things that I've been through, been taught, and all the people that I've met along the way, and all the lessons that come with them. Most of us fear that all this time that we've spent preparing for our future will be in vain. We fear we will attain failure instead of success that we long for. But I challenge you to remember that you're going to fall down. But the world doesn't care how many times you fall down, as long as it's one fewer than the times that you get back up. I have seen this class overcome so much adversity and accomplish so much while here at Keuka, and I have no doubt that we will be successful. We have such inner strength to attain what we reach for that I can't see any other outcome. This is the reason why our convocation quote this year was so apropos when Ralph Waldo Emerson, when he stated, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." What lies within each and every one of us is the potential for greatness, a potential to accomplish whatever we set our hearts on. We have been given the tools here at Keuka, and now it is time to use them. It was once said that there's a kingdom for every child who dreams of it. Dare to dream. Dare to make the most of your life. Dare to rise from the ashes of your mistake to become better than you once were. Dare to be more than you ever will be. Dare to be more. Remember in the words of Marcus Aurelius, what we do in life echoes in eternity. Your kingdom awaits, class of 2013. Go out and claim it.
Thank you. Thank you, Rhys. Wonderful. The next student speaker is Martha Walker from Lindley, who will receive a master's degree in nursing today. Martha?
Good afternoon. Congratulations, everyone. I want to acknowledge those in our audience and thank you for joining us. President Herrera, members of the board, trustees, faculty, alumni, our special guests, our families, our friends, and most of all, class of 2013. It is my privilege and honor to represent the Adult Studies Accelerated Program, known as what we call ASAP. Today, ASAP confers degrees to the following: Masters in Criminal Justice Administration, Masters in Management, Bachelor's in Social Work, bachelor's in nursing, master's in nursing, emphasizing education. Wow, we did it. We made it. We're sitting here still breathing, giving evidence of our survival. We nurses have had evidence-based research drummed in our heads these past 15 months, so please forgive me. This evidence of breathing, it's a vital thing. Reflecting back on our lives as the adult learning, many memories come to my mind. For us adult learners, going back to college, we look back to, back in the day, the traditional college student, the normal student, and many are seated here today with us. We adult students, we've defied the norm. We defied gravity, so to speak. Our bodies may be sagging, but our brains, now, that was gratifying. Going back to college as an adult learner has been a fight uphill the whole way, but guess what? We succeeded. Am I right? We face things head on, such as learning there's more to the internet than hitting the email reply button and then hitting send. Then, after conquering the computer, discovering the monitor screen could not be fixed with that little spray of Windex. It was something more humiliating, like, these glasses needing upgrading, and there's that prefix by before the word. And then there was ridicule from coworkers, young and old, that going back to college was futile, too costly, and way too difficult. And then there was ridicule from friends or family that our age is supposed to focus on retirement and not career goals. Or my favorite phrase, when I grow up, I want to be, I was told that that's a mindset for the young. Or remember this one, you can't make a difference. No one else has been able to. What makes you think you're so special? But guess what? We are special. We had a passion and a drive that urged us on, sometimes pushing us hard, relentlessly. Like, the time one of us had to use leftover student loan money to get a new 10-year-old car to ensure trustworthy transportation, not only to work full-time, but to class. And by the way, that same car boasts of silver duct tape, still keeping the parts attached. Or the time I confessed how to keep my living room clean, because I have 5 kids at home, work full-time as a bedside nurse, go to school full-time. I was trying to encourage my cohort classmate who was in tears. I said, we can't quit. Don't you know why snow shovels are made? The ones with plastic rubberized edges? They have special features for indoor use. Like a walking plow through the living room so you don't trip on the clutter. We don't have time to clean. We've got to get the paper done, the PowerPoint done. We can do it. Who has time to clean anyway? But you know what? Our family of cohorts, they kept us going. It helped knowing that each week when we met those other people in our class, they shared the same pain, the same struggle. But we made a choice together not to give in, not to have despair. We put our heads down, just like I am now, and we did what was assigned 1 week, 1 class at a time. And when we lifted up our heads, guess where we are? We're sitting here today. We also have a special quality, we adult learners, that's being resilient. Thinking back to those wavering moments, driving home late at night after class, in the rain, can't see, weighing the pros and cons of quitting. And then I would remember my 15-year-old son. Mom, it won't be that hard. I can help you. I know how to do a PowerPoint. I did it in high school tech class. And then hours later, I would come back and show my son my work, and he would proofread it. And then I'd see the glimmer of his approval in his eye. Or I'd hear my 8-year-old saying, Mom, do you have a test tomorrow? Or my father, be diligent. It's perseverance, Martha. All of us at different times have faced such scenarios. all of us wondered if the fight or the wind was worth it. And then I hear my 11-year-old son saying, "Mom, you have homework tonight? Mom, our Christmas program, it's Tuesday night." That was class night. I thought your concert was Friday. But anyway, I would mumble in my head, when I get this master's done, I'm going to be free. I won't be going to school full-time, working full-time. I'm going to be free. And as all of us trudged through these programs, inspirational people crossed our pathway. For me, one of them was Laura McDermott, my advanced health assessment professor. She spent extra time listening to my questions because, you see, my husband had a severe accident and his career was ended, and then 2 spinal surgeries during my ASAP program that had gone amok. And for me, that case study assignment she gave me was of a personal nature. But Laura was patient. She guided me through, and I had so much to process. By the way, I got an A. Anyway, another forever inspirational person was Professor Beth Russo. Dr. Elizabeth Russo. She taught me advanced pathophysiology and pharmacology. And she spent hours after class helping apply my text reading because my daughter suddenly had a major illness. And because of Beth and really studying hard, it helped connect my daughter to a specialist in Louisville, and forever has fueled my passion for nursing. But oh, if I could only teach pharmacology the way Beth Russo does. And then, laying aside all this classroom memory, one of the important things that I have discovered is that my life is like an imaginary house. A house that is grand enough. It's grand enough to have a basement as well as a second-story balcony, and it has a 3rd floor above. And I credit this word picture to Chip Ingram, a radio speaker. One morning, cold morning, I heard the story on the radio, and I was suffering, sorry, Dr. Gates, and working on a difficult genetics assignment. I wanted to quit until I heard about my life that was a house. You see, I learned that I was currently sitting on the 1st floor of this house, and there were people in the basement whispering, "You can't do this ASAP program. It's too hard. You don't get genetics. You don't even understand research. Your children are neglected and suffering. Your husband's lost his job." And these imaginary voices were pulling me down into the basement. However, I wanted to get to that 3rd floor. And when I looked up and I saw a balcony and the people hanging over the balcony railing, they were cheering me on. And you know who these people in my balcony were? My mom and dad, my husband, my sister-in-law, my children, and one of my coworkers at the hospital. And they would say things like this: "You can do it. Hey, I'll do your laundry for you this week. Honey, I already made supper. Mom, you got a great grade on your paper. It will be done before you know it." Or, "Just persevere. Be faithful to the course set before you." And then I would clock in at the hospital, and the coworker would say, "Hey, Marty, what about that balcony story you told me? You look like you're headed for the basement this morning. Here's an imaginary rope. I'm going to pull you up to the 1st floor." And then we would laugh. And that's exactly what it took. Looking into my house, gazing into the balcony. And guess what? As we leave here today, or we blow away today, we need to keep up looking into that balcony. Because unfortunately, some of those friendships we left 18 months ago, thank you, sir. Unfortunately, lunch out with the girls came and gone and cannot be recaptured. Some of our friends, they moved on, and they won't be going ahead with us. And those co-workers who got grumpy because we defied gravity by going back to college, they're not talking to us anymore. Because our master's degrees just opened up our futures beyond imagination. So, class of 2013, whatever is next in your life, keep looking up into your balcony of your imaginary house and make sure that balcony is full of positive people, because that's what's important. You made a huge difference, and you are able to be here to celebrate it. We now have the challenge to make a difference.
All right, thank you. So, thank you, Martha. Now let's hear it for real. Congratulations, class of 2013. Come on. I'm so proud that we have representatives from ASAP and from the traditional all together here as one big family. Okay, now I'm pleased to introduce our commencement speaker. When the colleges announce their commencement speakers, it is unusual to have controversy arise. Some people are thrilled with the choice, others are not so much. That wasn't the case this time around. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was thrilled that Esther Yoder was returning to her alma mater to deliver today's address. Esther, there isn't a college president in this country and in the world, including me, of course, who would like to be as popular as you are. Esther, a pathfinder, graduated from Keuka College in 1960 and has carved an incredibly successful career with Subway. But today, I want to talk about the numerous ways she has given back to Keuka College. She was a member of the Board of Trustees for the better part of the last 20 years, serving as chair in 2006-07 and vice chair from 2001 to 2006. She is now an emeritus member of our governing board. Esther chaired the Shaping the Future, our graduate at a time campaign, the most prolific fundraising drive in Keuka history. She's one of only 6 people in Keuka's 123 years of history to receive the Norton Bliley Presidential Medallion, which recognizes service to the college above and beyond an extraordinary high standard. And she is a recipient of the Alumni Association's Eleanor Judge Wilkes Service to Keuka College. Esther resides in Gainesville, Florida, and donates her time and talents to enhance the quality of life in that community. Bob Schick, our board chair, will have more to say about this wonderful woman later on. But for now, I want to make sure that I give her enough time. It is my pleasure and a deep honor to welcome our commencement speaker, Esther Yoder.
Yeah, I am. I thought the challenge was going to be to have a good address. The challenge is going to be to stand up here before the wind blows me down, knocks my hat off, takes my papers away, or whatever. Thank you, board, my fellow board members, Dr. Diaz-Herrera. Most of all, greetings to the class of 2013, the 105th class to graduate from Keuka College. But in the future, when your college asks one of you to deliver the commencement address, my sage advice to you is say, absolutely not. But it is a privilege, but it is a very daunting privilege. I'm a proud graduate of Keuka College. It is the day of days for any institution of higher learning when degrees are awarded and the tassel is moved. Today on the Keuka College campus, the graduates are for the 2012 and 2013 academic year. This academic year at Keuka will have joined 1,354 students to the rank of the alumni. 295 of those students from our home campus in Keuka Park, and 380 from our ASAP sites, 646 from our 4 universities in China, and 36 from our 2 university partners in Korea. That's sure a lot more than when I was graduating in 1960. There were 75 in my class. Growth right now seems to be Keuka's middle name. But right now you have to settle back in your chairs and listen to this 50 years Pathfinder plus of your soon-to-be alma mater. The more that things change we hear, the more they stay the same. That's actually the amazing part of living. The title of my speech, they want to have your speech in the office so the president and a few other people can read it and approve it. And I ask, why did they ask me to speak if they're afraid I was going to say something they wouldn't like? So anyway, I hope that you enjoy the stories I'm going to share with you. And the title is Live into Your Life. The same that you graduated with and I did is the Elm Path Walk to the chapel, processing to the very familiar strains of pomp and circumstance, in glorious ceremonial garb, with a gathering of friends and family, flashing cameras, crying as you say goodbye to your fellow classmates, hugging, flashing cameras, cheering as your family and friends and the college cheer you for your accomplishments. And you move on to make your list of friends. The same things have been happening here over and over for 103 years. Even though my dad did not want me to go to college, he didn't believe in college for women. I believe in my heart of hearts that on my graduation day, he had to be the proudest of all the dads in the audience. And you can be sure today that your parents are so, so, so proud of you. How is your graduation different? Do you know what you're going to do as you live into life? You've heard 2 great speeches already. I hope that there will be someone from this class that will become a thumb surgeon. Yes, I said a thumb surgeon. There will be an amazing demand for good thumb surgeons. I am a Steve Jobs female, and he said you have to create in people's minds what you want them to want. And you have been doing this without knowing it, because the waking hours of your college life has revolved around and around and around using your thumb on that sacred cow called the cell phone. For those of us who have gray hair, we prefer not to buy the smartphone. We don't want something smarter than we are. And so I think that we might have a new major at the college, a doctorate in cell phone proficiency and efficiency. What do you think? Your graduation is different than mine was 53 years ago. I want to tell you a little bit about my Keuka story and how I have lived into my life. I came to Keuka from a dairy farm in northeastern Pennsylvania, the oldest of 6 children, and I came for a major in Christian education. It's no longer available at Keuka. I came with no money, but most of the 75 in my class didn't have any money either. My grandmother made my sheets and pillowcases out of feed sacks from the farm. My grandfather gave me a couple of blankets that he had won in playing bingo at the county fair. My aunt and uncle and their daughter is here today, also a Keuka grad, had a clothing store, and they gave me some chapel clothes. Chapel was required at Keuka once a week when I was on this campus. I had farm clothes and mostly hand-me-downs from my cousin who was an only child. Thank goodness it was a girl. And perhaps most of all, I came knowing that my dad did not really want me here. I also came knowing I had never seen or heard a symphony orchestra. I'd never been swimming in a pool, indoor pool. I had no idea what a sport called field hockey was. I didn't know what a dean of students meant. I'd never heard a Southern accent like the one spoken by Dr. Leitner, head of the education department, and the name that is on our library today. I didn't know what a sport named crew was. I never heard of such a thing. I'd never eaten lobster. I was a slow reader, and I had to take remedial reading for a whole year. And there are so many other examples of living into my life at Keuka. It was scary and challenging. I'm sure many of you had had similar kinds of feelings along with many others. I loved sports and was excited to become a member of the swim team. The pool was at that time in the basement of Hegeman Hall. I dove and hit the bottom of the pool and injured my neck. Fortunately, it was an injury to the bones in the neck and not the vertebrae. Back in the day, nobody sued. But the injury produced incredible pain and unbearable headaches. And no one could find what was causing this. There seemed to be no diagnosis, and I really suffered a lot. Finally, a Dr. King in a little town in northeast Pennsylvania called, the town is Sayre, the hospital is still there, Robert Packer. He made a correct diagnosis and operated on my neck, finding bone chips, the result of the hitting of the pool. And those chips were pressing on the nerves. It hurt. The headaches after he operated and pain were gone forever. And on top of that, all of my hair grew back in. They forgot to tell me that they were going to shave my head during that surgery. What a shock. But a result of that was that college would no longer allow me to play any or participate in any sports. But one exception was made so that I could play one sport. That one sport was ping pong. I was the champion ping pong player at Keuka College. Definitely was not my first choice of sports. I was never going to be putting that on my job resume. Sports are an extremely important part of college experience, of course, unless it's ping pong. If you want to know about it, just ask Mariah Muzan. Where are you, Mariah? Marrera, is that how you say your name? And Teddy Tuggles. Stick your hands up there. There you go. You know what these two did? Each of them were recognized this year for scoring, if you know anything about sports, 1,000 career points in women's basketball. An amazing accomplishment to have two in the same year. Yeah, all right. And Molly Hogan, the NEAC award for the lacrosse player. There you go. I love sports. So do you. Where's Keith Pastrano? A 3-run home run in baseball for a sweep over Hilbert at the end of the season. Way to go. You cheer for the Keuka Storm. I live in Gainesville, Florida. I cheer for the Fightin' Gators. And especially, I am a fan of Tim Tebow. Following graduation, I was hired by a church where I worked for my field period in Binghamton, New York, as their director of Christian education. Field period, experiential learning, what an amazing program and door-opening opportunity for many students to this very day, a unique part of Keuka College. We are recognized as a national leader in experiential learning. Where's Melissa Sheridan? There she is. Melissa developed several overseas field periods to Hawaii, Peru, and Morocco, and she traveled solo, all by herself. And Keuka's international student, Taido, known as Alice. Where is Alice? There she is. Was the first ever international student to be a finalist for the Experiential Learner of the Year award. The minister that I worked for during one of my field period is here today, Reverend Nelson Reppert and his wonderful wife. They are still my friends, and you heard Rhys talk about keeping your friends. They are still my friends, and I love them to death and so happy they're here to share this with me. We had several people from the upper class when I was here as a student. My senior pal, we had pals and best buds and our big sisters. My senior pal was Janet Falls, and she is here with us today too. At the very first job, the minister's daughter, Lynn, and I became best friends. And 54 years later, we are still best friends. And we talk to each other every single day of our lives. Lynn and her husband are here, and I'm so honored that they are. As you live into your life, make good friends until they become your friends for a lifetime, because it is so priceless. I became the DCE at a small rural church in Pennsylvania. I was there for 9 years. I married my husband Herb and inherited 4 stepchildren. 2 of those children, Sharon and Patty, grown adults now, are here today, along with one of my grandchildren, Amy and her husband, and my great-grandson, Austin. My husband, if you talk about living into your life, was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease and passed away. I never married again. My racing thoughts were, now what am I going to do? How am I going to live into this life? I needed a job. My Keuka education was no longer of much use, or so I thought. So I went to work in a little sandwich shop, like Dr. Jorge said, called Subway. Has anybody ever heard of Subway? Yay, I think so. I say so too. So much for a 4-year college education. And 35 years later, I am still working for that little company called Subway. Yes, I have a liberal arts education, but I continue to say, will that be a foot long today? Would you like that on wheat or white bread? Would you like all the vegetables on that? When I started asking those questions, there were less than 50 stores in the Subway organization. Today, there are over 39,000 stores open in over 100 countries around the world. Boy, I lived my life into Subway. I worked as a sandwich artist. We were called counter attendants back then. And I became a field rep for the corporate offices, visiting stores and inspecting them. The company was growing quite rapidly, and I was opening stores for the company from New York to Florida to Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and all parts in between. I was pretty good at what I was doing, and I was living and enjoying this part of my life. Then the call came from the Home Office. They needed me to go to Canada to open the first Subway store in Toronto. That was the beginning for me of doing a lot of international development for Subway, opening stores in Australia, England, the islands, and still in the USA. Subway was booming, and that was when I was transferred down to Gainesville, Florida. Oh yes, and by the way, that's where the Gators play. I sort of helped my 3 brothers become Subway owners as well, and 2 of my brothers and my sister are with us today. I became what Subway calls a development agent, opening stores in 66 counties in southern Georgia and northern Florida, along with a staff of 14 people. I built a new office building, and we received the City of Gainesville Beautification Award for that building that we built. I was living into this life and having a good time, a new adventure and a challenge. The day came when I had the opportunity to sell that territory after developing 171 Subway stores. And if I haven't mentioned it before, that's out of Gainesville where the Gators play. Anyway, what is this story really all about? Well, it's about each day of your life, your story. Your living into life is being written. Each one of us is about our personal story. Who and what will you remember from your Keuka days? Will it be about an unforgettable, flamboyant senior named John Mastrella? Where's John? Oh-ho! Good response. Will it be him, or will it be his funky yellow suit, or his amazing expertise as a disc jockey? I know some of the story about Rhys Cunningham because he served with me as a student representative on the Board of Trustees. He's a winner of the Pierce Leadership Award, a 4-year starter on the men's soccer team, and he did all of this and more while compiling a 3.7 GPA as an occupational therapy major. Congratulations, Rhys. How about it, Lord? I think his parents must love telling his story. I wonder what the other chapters will be in his life. Talk to Robert Lonnie. Where's Robert? There he is. If you want to hear what it means to be a residential Drive student for 2 years, Drive means diversity, responsibility, inclusion, vision, experiential. Now there's a Keuka story that will warm the cockles of your heart. Students are receiving today in the Drive an award of higher education. I truly believe that these things in my life, my story, would not have happened quite this way if I had not been exposed to a different way of thinking when I lived my life in Keuka. What do you do when living life gets a little difficult, hard times come, and in unpredictable ways? If I had not experienced serious neck surgery, and our chaplain at Keuka, Dr. Leitner, had not said in his southern drawl, and he had a curved pipe that he smoked. No, he never smoked it, he just held it there. There was no smoking on campus. He said, "Honey child, you is going to heaven for sure, because you've been through hell already." He was wonderful, and I wouldn't have made it without him. Even difficult times in parts of your life teach you. If I had not watched my husband die of Lou Gehrig's disease, and later read the book Tuesdays with Morrie, which really describes the horror of that disease, I would never have understood how to live into my life the devastation that it causes. If that little Subway company had not developed into the largest fast food restaurant chain in the world, and I had not been given the opportunity to make that sandwich every day, I probably would have a different way of life and different thinking. Then one day, the director of development for Keuka College called and asked if he could stop by for a visit down where the Gators play. I said, "Sure, come on down." That led to a meeting in Florida with the president from Florida, the president of Keuka College, Dr. Arthur Kirk. Talk about living into your life. He asked me if I would consider serving on the Board of Trustees. I said, yeah, sure, that's been on my bucket list for years and years and years. Yeah, right. After discussion and contemplation, I said, yeah, I will. After being on the board for a year, I received a call from Dr. Kirk asking me to meet him for lunch. He told me today that he remembers that lunch. A free lunch and not Subway, sure, why not? That was an amazing encounter of living into another part of my life. Dr. Kirk asked me to chair the largest capital funds campaign in the history of Keuka College, $25 million. I told him that fell in one of my very favorite all-time categories. Dr. Kirk, I said, that category in my life is called Fat Chance, my friend. But I did it. Anyway, Dr. Kirk is here today. Please stand and be recognized as one of the great presidents, there he is back there, of Keuka College. Thank you for being here, Dr. Kirk. He also taught me, that saying fat chance doesn't really work as an excuse. Oh yes, I may have forgotten to tell you, when I was a student here, this was a college for women. I corrected my family last night when they started talking about a girls' school. No, this is a college for women. Dr. Kirk changed Keuka so much as Keuka became a co-ed college. Wow, men on campus. All the time in my day, if a man came into a dorm, someone was required to yell at the top of their lungs, "Man in the dorm, man in the dorm," so that you could run and hide or whatever. So I'm honored that Dr. Kirk is here, and what an inspiration he has been to me personally, and a very wise mentor. Then along came Dr. Burke, and by the way, he is today on his way to Thailand with his wife Diane. You know, Dr. Burke and Dr. Diane at Keuka were known as the paradox, right? Get it? My, how things have changed. Under Dr. Burke's presidency, more money started coming in, improvements began, Keuka College started teaching in China, Ball Hall was rebuilt, we expanded our athletic programs, but I never have read anything more about ping pong. Each president has left his or her remark on this college. Dr. Burke is out of the country, as I said, but he asked me a couple of weeks ago on the phone to please send his best wishes and congratulations to those that are graduating that he knew today, even to those that he didn't know. 2 years ago, who arrived on campus? Anybody know? Dr. Jorge Diaz Herrera. I think the students call you Dr. DH. Dr. DH. I don't blame them for that shortcut. You try saying, "May I speak to you for a few minutes, Dr. Jorge, somebody, Diaz Herrera?" I mean, it's a mouthful. As an alumnus of this college, I'm taking this hat off. I don't blame them for the shortcut. I am awed by his commitment to making changes in my alma mater that no one would ever have dreamed about 10 years ago. As I finished reading his president's report last week, I sent him an email. It said in part, "Under your leadership, Dr. Jorge, my beloved Keuka College is flourishing like a newly planted flower in rich and nourishing soil. Excitement for the future is beyond expression. Thank you." And the future for Keuka College is unimaginable because his instant love for, vision for, boundless energy and commitment to the mission of Keuka is so apparent. Two more things about Keuka that you as graduates must live into your life. This little college in the Finger Lakes has been recognized by 2 United States presidents. The recognition is called the President's Higher Education Community Service Award. Our Keuka students have been awarded this honor 7 years in a row. This is amazing. Keuka College is one of the 10 top colleges for community service because our students are honestly and sincerely devoted to and involved in community service. Think about all the amazing projects you've completed to help someone else. Yates County will never be the same because of what each of you has contributed and done to help people in so many ways. Live into community service wherever you are in life. It is one of the musts to be part of your DNA until you draw your last breath. The second Live into Light is my challenge to you to give back to Keuka College. Every student who is sitting here and who has received a scholarship for financial aid of any kind, I want you to stand up. Anyone who has received financial aid of any kind from Keuka College to complete your education. Do you know how that happened? You can sit down now, thank you. Do you know how that happened? It happened because lots and lots of someones, many of them sitting here, have made your education possible because of their generosity and belief that Keuka College students deserve to be assisted financially in getting their college degree. All of the people on this stage and so many, many more give of their time, their talents, and treasures. And all the saints who have gone before them have done the same for 105 years. Many are not Keuka graduates, but they believe so strongly in liberal arts education, they want you to receive your degree. And in the mission of Keuka that they generously give, their money, their energy, their gifts, talents, makes it possible, as you saw by the standing ones, for so many to live into their life at Keuka College. Those gifts are helping to change lives in many parts of the world. If you could see some Keuka graduates that are working with our people in the other countries, teaching them community service, it's a whole new experience for them. Those gifts are helping change the world in many parts, from Keuka Park to China to Vietnam, soon perhaps in Lebanon, and who knows where else. Even the ghost, how many of you experienced the ghost of George Harvey Ball in Ball Hall? He was the founder of Keuka College. That's the family that makes the canning jars. Reminds us what the Ball family has done for 105 years for Keuka. Make a commitment to live into your life by giving back to your alma mater every single year of your life. Someone following behind you will need your help, and you best be living into your life of giving back to your alma mater. That is a second must part of your Keuka DNA. Will those who come behind you find you faithful? I will haunt you. And you will never be able to say to anyone, well, I have this little category called fat chance. Not a graduate of the class of 2013, not once, not ever, will anyone say that. So we are streaming live today on the internet, and I'm sending greetings to all alums, supporters, and friends of Keuka by asking them to give back to Keuka with time and treasures and to keep the vision of Keuka ongoing. It's now time for me to finish. I'm running out of Kleenex. I will not be here when one of you speaks at commencement, but my prayer will always be with you. What Keuka prepared you for is happening. You will be living into your life. So sometime during each day, as life unfolds, listen to your thoughts and keep saying to you these 4 words: live into your life. May each day in the week be a good day. May the Lord always watch over you, and may all of your hopes turn to wishes, and may all of your wishes come true. May each day in the month be a good day. May you make friends with each one you meet, and may all of your daydreams be memories, and may all of your memories be sweet. The weeks turn to months, and the months into years. There'll be sadness and joy. There'll be laughter and tears. But one thing I pray to heaven above, may each of your days be a day full of love. May each day in the year be a good day. May each dawn find you happy and gay. And may all of your days be as lovely as the one you have shared with me today. Thank you for letting me share the day you began living into your life, your commencement day. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Esther, I'm sure your address was inspirational to everyone out in the audience, but I want you to know, for me, I'm terrified because you read my entire script. But with that aside, I'll recap the best I can. You all know who Jared Fogle is, right? He's the guy who lost a ton of weight by taking advantage of the healthy alternatives at Subway and went on to become a spokesperson for the company. The Jared Fogle story is inspiring, but it pales in comparison to this lady to my right. As Esther said, she was born and raised on a dairy farm in West Auburn, Pennsylvania, the oldest of 6 children. And as she pointed out, she came to Keuka College with a little bit more than a clothes on her back. In fact, it was touch and go whether or not she would able to be afford to stay in school. But thanks to her perseverance and the creativity of the Keuka administration, in particular the late Ralph Wilkes, she earned a degree in Christian education in 1960. She got her start with Subway in the early days of the company, as she pointed out, working for the owner in the store in Enwell. She now owns 5 stores after developing 171 stores in northern Florida, southern Georgia, and as Esther pointed out, opening the first stores in Canada, Australia, and London. Where Jared may be the face of Subway on TV, Esther is the brightest star in the Subway universe. How did this woman come to be? Well, consider this. As she said, when she arrived on campus in 1956, she never heard a symphony orchestra. But 46 years later, when the college celebrated the successful completion of the largest fundraising campaign in its history, it was Esther Yoder who was the chair. Then she conducted the Philharmonic, the Rochester Philharmonic. Some might call this a rags to riches story, but that would be doing this woman a disservice. Esther could care less about the flash and the bling. Is she successful? Obviously. Does she possess a keen business acumen? Certainly. But the Esther Yoder of today is no different than the Esther Yoder who was daunted by the size of Keuka College when she arrived here as the first member of her immediate family to attend college. And as Esther pointed out many times, she's a pillar of the Gainesville, Florida area. She uses her talent and treasure to help those in need and fighting illness. She is a very proud member of the Gator Nation, and on Saturday afternoons in the fall, Esther can be found cheering for the University of Florida football team from a reserved seat in the swamp. And I've been told, don't sit to her right and don't sit to her left because that could be dangerous to your health. She is a very big fan of ex-Gator quarterback Tim Tebow, who, like Esther, has an unwavering faith in God. Yes, Esther lives and dies with her beloved Gators, but make no mistake, Keuka College has her heart, always has, and always will. The Esther Yoder story is a story about social responsibility. It's about sacrificial giving, paying tribute to those who have come before you, helping those who came after you. It's about honesty, integrity, perseverance, and faith. It's a story that defines the very essence of Keuka College. Esther Yoder, congratulations.
Nice. Great job.
Esther Yoder, in recognition of all you do to embody the qualities and values our institution seeks to instill in its students, and all you have done for your alma mater, Keuka College bestows upon you the highest degree. On behalf of a grateful college and by virtue of the authority vested on me by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York and the trustees of Keuka College, I confer upon you the honorary degree Doctor Humane Letters Honoris Causa, with all the rights, privileges, and immunities thereunto pertaining, and I cause you to be vested with the symbols appropriate to this degree. Congratulations.
It's back here. Well, you have to listen to me just for a second more. This honor makes it extremely difficult to speak. I somehow knew I would feel this way. I like to have a good time, but I also have emotions that run very deep about Keuka. I've watched others receive an honorary degree and so admired each of them and all they had accomplished in their work in life. They were so deserving. There's not a time when I ever aspired to be a person who would receive such an auspicious award. I could never give back to Keuka College anything equal to what Keuka College has given me. It truly is with humbleness and humility that I gratefully receive this honor. Thank you so much, and nothing I can say could possibly express the happiness I feel and the pride welling up in me for such an honor coming from my beloved Keuka College. I cannot think of a thing that would hold more meaning for me than being given this award. Thank you so very much. Oops. I'm gonna wreck your speech. Thank you. Look, yay. Yay, graduates.
Every year at commencement, we announce the Professor of the Year. The Professor of the Year is a distinction awarded to our best faculty member. Those who go above and beyond in fostering student learning and contributing to the mission of the college. This year's honorary is a very welcome addition to this tradition of recognizing excellence. This faculty member is a dedicated educator who exhibits great enthusiasm for learning and a passion for helping students to be successful. His commitment to students has been evident over the years, and his innovative teaching and in the individual's assistance he provides to his students. Students routinely describe him as amazing, well-prepared, fantastic, challenging, genuine, and a great person. In 4 decades of student-centered teaching, he has truly exemplified Keuka's emphasis on the individual student. His particular attention to the well-being of first-year students deserves commendation. Over the past decade and more, he has made significant contributions to our retention efforts through his research analyzing student study habits. This work has been of enormous benefit to the college, to his colleagues on the faculty, and most especially to students as he compiled, interpreted, and shared the data he collected. In addition to his work in the classroom, this faculty member served the college, and most especially his colleagues, for many years as chair of the Division of Basic and Applied Social Sciences. In this role, he managed a division of independent-minded colleagues in a persistent and often admirable, tireless manner. In untold ways, he performed the day-to-day administrative work that kept a centrally important division running. Most recently, his work on the Ad Hoc Curriculum Task Force testifies to his commitment to enhancing students' educational experience at Keuka. In summary, for a lifetime of devotion to the college and its students, and for his many contributions in support of his faculty colleagues, the college is delighted to recognize Professor of Psychology, Dr. Michael Rogoff, as Professor of the Year 2013. Michael, would you please come to the podium? Now, please welcome our Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Ann Weed.
Thank you. Please say a few words.
You can say some few words.
Wow. This is a really great honor. I stand up here in great company, knowing my colleagues who have gone before me who have received this award, knowing all the people on the board, being familiar with Dr. Yoder's work in helping renovate the college, and all I can say is thank you very much, and I hope you all live into your lives. Thank you.
The college also recognizes its excellent faculty by honoring retiring faculty members who have records of distinguished service to the college. At this time, I would like to recognize Carolyn Teeter, Assistant Professor of Occupational Therapy, who has taught in the Division of Occupational Therapy since 2007. In addition to serving on faculty standing committees and providing excellent instruction to her students, she has been a role model of the OT professional. Ms. Teeter, please stand and be recognized. We also recognize the service of Jane Bonacci, Assistant Professor of Education, who has taught in the Division of Education since 2004. A thoughtful practitioner, Ms. Bonacci created a welcoming classroom environment which supported pedagogical experimentation and nurtured her students' professional development. Ms. Bonacci, please stand and be recognized. The college also bids a very fond farewell to Michaela Cosgrove. She has provided exemplary service to the college. In her distinguished career at Keuka, which has spanned 3 decades, she has served as an exceptional teacher of Spanish, as director of the Higher Education Opportunity Program, as assistant academic dean, as dean of students, and as chair of the Division of Humanities and Fine Arts. She is consistently praised by her students for her deep love of literature and language studies and her passion for teaching. Described as an outstanding teacher and mentor, and I know because I was one of her mentees some years ago, she has made a profound and lasting contribution and impact on the college. She has been recognized for her dedication by the Board of Trustees, who promoted Ms. Cosgrove to Professor Emerita for her distinguished service to Keuka College. She richly deserves this honor. Professor Cosgrove, please stand to be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne, and congratulations to the faculty that have been recognized today. Our commencement ceremony includes an amazing group of students who are part of the DRIVE program. You already heard something about it. DRIVE stands for Diversity, Responsibility, Inclusion, Vision, and Experiential Learning. A 4-year certificate program for college-age students with intellectual challenges. DRIVE is a collaboration between Keuka College, Penn Yan Central School Districts, and ARC of Yates. These young men and women are pioneers in the Keuka College community that has benefited immensely from the efforts these students have put forward and the challenges they have met. It is our belief that this program will effect positive change and acceptance in the surrounding communities as our students, both with and without these challenges, prepare to go into the world of work together. Today, when their names are called, the DRIVE graduates will receive an award of higher education jointly given by Keuka College, Penn Yan Central School District, and the ARC of Yates. Would David Hamilton, Superintendent of the Penn Yan Central School District, and Kate Ring, Executive Director of the ARC of Yates, please join me for the presentation.
We are pleased to present an award of higher education to Robert S. Lonnie. Please come forward. Eric A. Gleason. Robert M. Stryker. Joshua A. Morehouse. Carrie A. Oliver. William L. Perot. And now, President Diaz-Herrera, I have the honor to present to you the members of the class of 2013 for their degrees in course. First, for the degree Master of Science. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Science please rise? These candidates have met the requirements for graduation. They have been recommended by the faculty for their degrees and have been approved by the Board of Trustees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of Keuka College, and with certification of the completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. I cause you to be vested with the symbol appropriate to this degree. Please turn your tassels to the left and be seated.
Will the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? These candidates have met the requirements for graduation. They have been recommended by the faculty for their degrees, and they have been approved by the Board of Trustees.
By virtue of the authority vested on me by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of Keuka College, and with certification of the completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining, and I cause you to be vested with a symbol appropriate to this degree. Please turn your tassels and be seated. The members of the graduating class will now come forward for the presentation of degrees.
Diplomas will be awarded to the members of the class of 2013 by President Jorge Luis Diaz Herrera. Department representatives will assist with the hooding of the graduate students. Graduate hoods are a specific color that is representative of the discipline and program in which the student is graduating. Congratulations will be offered by members of the boards of trustees. We're ready. The master students, yes. Just come this way here. Oh, okay. Patricia Barkalow. Heidi Beakey. Faith Gilliam. Ann Reether. Rhiannon Bain, sorry. Greta Bruin. Emily May. Alicia Parkhurst. Slow down a little bit. Alicia Nardozzi. Christine Dunn. Rachel Crone. Jessica Hayes. Tierney Coyne. Heather Fisher. Laura Smith. Megan Webster. Megan Daggett. Tracy Gusso. Elena Perkins. Eileen Lewis Lloyd. Dawn Pristico. Karen Page. Camaro Logan. Darlene Bullock. Julie Galino. Christina Rapp. Brianna Watson. Courtney Wilson. Darlene Carrington. Miguel Mateo. Randy Misinik. Brittany Taylor. Dr. Shiva Utlasas. Betty Judd Collier. Deborah Drain. Peter Gorino. Suzanne Jensen. Sarah Davis. Amanda Matheson. Marie Nellenbach. Lynn Scott. Robert Wilson. Carmen Doyle. Anthony Popkin. Michael Schutt. Dale Boyd. Wei Kong Shen. Marcia Graham. Zhou Wang Jia. Nia Lu. Tabi Song Mpakanyane. Whale Nazardin. Sorry, just go through. Yeah. Rose Tran. Di Wong. Li Qian Wong. Curtis Williams. Ying Ying Yu. Ming Ming Chong. Ronald Bird. Mohammed Haidar. Amanda Johnson. Hong Li. Sida Liu. Hui Shen. Maya Sol. Frederick Tassoni. Chuang Zhang. Lin Zhang. Chung Wen Zun. Ling Zhou. Kimberly Bailey. Marilyn Ogari. Sorry. Martha Walker. Nice. Yes. Diane Morrison. Patricia Predmore. Wendy Diamond. Taryn Brown. Emily Conrad. Hannah Duty. Lana Downey. Alicia Maslowski. Nicole Gordon. Melanie Nelson. Katie Heyman. Julia House. Jessica Ngotti. Sarah James. Crystal Kennedy. Erica Kester. Cassidy Kraus. Lauren Mans. Courtney North. Amanda Pilarska-Rusa. Margaret Piasny. Stephanie Pontes. Jordan Rice. Cassandra Santos Martinez. Alicia Steves. Chelsea Stecker. Heather Tarr. Elizabeth Thomas. Emily Tutak. Allison Utaro. Jessica Vanderpool. Alicia Wimmer. Kelsey Wolf. Michelle York Polvino. Devin Filipiak. Rhys Cunningham. Ann Mullen. Melissa Sheridan. Erica Ruscio, summa cum laude. Joshua Beaver. Megan Marks. Kathy Gasco. Erica Bacon. Bryce Helmicki. Joan Ross. Michael Walton. Therese Whitfield. Johnny Vera. Anthony Belliard. Amanda Mulcahy. Beverly Beaumont. Emosi Ruiz. Tracy Ortiz. Jamie Gutzmer. Tiffany Shelton. Jamie Shirella. Amanda Hart. Deborah Speed. Sherry Smith Hutchinson. Mary Morey. Chester Eldridge. Margaret Sosha. Jocelyn Bush. Kila Papalarzik. Sherry Hayes. Jean Ann Kubushin. Barbara Snow. Carol Steinman. Deborah Brennan. Melissa DiNatale. Amber Wood. Heather Wirtz. Jennifer Ferry. Julianne Ashman. Pamela Shapley. Kelly McCabe. Sean Lasella. Monique Cooper. Lisa Cole. Melissa Campbell. Constance Wynant. Mary Williamson. Michelle G. Gloria Rich. Rebecca Sterlace. Penny Thoman. Justin Cochran. Iris Freeman. Gloria Torres. Sharisa Zikari. Tammy Evans. Elena Brusa. Jeffrey Brown. Marianne Hearn. Renee Rebman. Gail Luckman. Janet Douglas cum laude. Juanita Lewis. Nancy Jackson. Shannon Farrell. Barbara Keys. Stacy Brizzi. James Cunningham. Kelly Myers. Robert Reynolds. Teresa Insonia. Michelle Laganegro. Melissa Hill. Debbie G. Kathy Pratt. Trisha Folks. Jessica Wilson. Sarah Pendleton. Bridget Rosado. Melanie Waobia. Rachel Danny Brooks. Lee Alderman. Molly Aiello, summa cum laude. Janice Gay. Megan Morehouse. Jonathan Pugh. Emma Mealy. Joseph Spulek. Carrie McCormick. Daniel Hoynes. Chelsea DeGroot. Tyler Morin. Justin Ferguson, summa cum laude, disciplinary honors in mathematics. Matthew Snyder. Good singing. Amanda Lee Burlingame, cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Marissa Louise Cooper. Sarah Hillman, magna cum laude. Jenna Chapman, summa cum laude, disciplinary honors and organizational communication. Mia Barnello, magna cum laude, disciplinary honors and organizational communication. Ashley Larimore, summa cum laude, disciplinary honors and organizational communication.
My M's kind of messed up. It's McDonald.
Montana McDonald. King Swank. Justin Hess. Diane Dupre. Robert Reichel. Megan Waters. Chelsea McDonald. Maureen O'Donnell. Kayla Curtis, magna cum laude. Cheyenne Warren. Fatima Jackson. Margaret Cashone. Amanda Gagnon. Courtney French, Bachelor Fine Arts in Advertising. I can't read it. Catherine Adanucci. Eric Holmes. Christopher Alvarez, magna cum laude. Autumn Rexis, summa cum laude. Tabitha Joe Bennett. Sorry. Alexandra Bloom, cum laude. Kara DeWitt. Melissa Garcia. Chelsea Sherwood. Keith Prestano. Erica Vidler. Michael Crumlish. Marilyn Knight. Joshua Gostomski. Robert McGee. Shelby Seeley, magna cum laude. Brianna Bubach, magna cum laude. Kimberly Edler, magna cum laude. Alex Fellows. Trevor Gallup, cum laude. Dustin Keylock. Ashley Matthews, cum laude. Kimberly Nelson. Jamie Peterson. Morgan Rickerson. Lauren Shriak. Brittany Smider. Nicole Sharrock, cum laude. Derek Condon. Justin Ryan. Daniel Sugg, magna cum laude. Samantha Stevenson. Ashley Ayers. Kelly Salk. Catherine Grinda. Carrie Kephart. Gina Morales. Sarah Horner. Brittany Labor. Maddie Waldstein. Alicia Trombley. Christopher Reddington. Shelby Dancause cum laude. Amanda Button. Leah Lopresti. Brianna June. Daniel Scott, summa cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Stephanie Strasner, cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Jessica Jardina. Catherine Kuhn. Nicole Cooper. Emily Ekstrom, cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Jessamine Qualman, summa cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Haley King. Cassandra Obit. Kimberly Potts, summa cum laude. Colleen Schmidt, cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Teddy Tuggles. Jill Bianco. Molly Hogan, magna cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Demi Koppinen. Carrie Pulver. Never mind. Brianna Mays, cum laude. Julie Oot, cum laude. Hannah Pettengill, cum laude. Miranda Conway. Taylor DeYoung, cum laude. Kristen Gallons, magna cum laude, disciplinary honors in education. Kristen Amadon. Beth Townsend, cum laude. Emily Bollert. Mariah Bandura. Caroline Menegali, magna cum laude. Caitlin Corver. Shannon Slater. Ashley Granger. Yi-Young Zhou. Xianto Zhang. Zichao Sun. Ying Zhang. Hanu Han. Wuan Huang. Jody Lee. I can't see. Yi Chao Chi. Wei Shan. Zhu Zui Shen. Xing Shen. Chen Li Shi. Xian Sun. Wang Lu Su. Wang Kai Wu. Adi Dong. Dan Gu. Julia Nguyen. Bifan Yong. Shen Shu Zhong. Tri Wu. Hui Nong. Tong Wang Zong. Hong Tran. Okay. Kyle Rivera. Tyler Hoosier. Anthony Jones. Justin Napolitano. Jose Cervantes. Travis Simmons. Nathan Smith. Zong Wang. An Pham. Wang Lei. Shane Fox. Mackenzie Green. Dory Arbogast, magna cum laude, disciplinary honors and occupational therapy. April Beckwith, magna cum laude. Hannah Brown. Michael Bruno, summa cum laude. Kristen Carpenter, cum laude. Christina DeVito. Katrina Dixon. Carly Ellison, cum laude, disciplinary honors and occupational therapy. Jennifer Fowler, cum laude. Aaron Glaus. Elizabeth Gorman, cum laude. Heather Kittenplan. Caitlin Martin, magna cum laude. Brittany Miller. Carly Miller. Cassandra Muir. Ashley Northrup. Matthew Nowick. Shannon O'Neill, cum laude. Cassandra Palchel. Jessica Schreiner. Haley Squires, magna cum laude, disciplinary honors and occupational therapy. Christiane Steiner, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Vanette, cum laude. Angela Voorhees. Molly Wilson, magna cum laude. Tawny Badger, summa cum laude. Connor Boyer. Leah Brazi. Stacy Contreras, cum laude. Christine Cosentino. Kristen Fogarty. Amber Heslop, cum laude. Samantha Luce, magna cum laude. Caitlin Metz, cum laude. Michaela Poge. Sorry. Erin Shoddock. Amanda Whitmore. Jennifer Wilson. Carol Stewart Andrews. Congratulations, class of 2013.
All right. We're almost there. Please take your seats. On behalf of the Keuka College Board of Trustees, the faculty, and the entire college community, we'd like to congratulate the class of 2013. Once more. You have completed a set of rigorous requirements before being presented with your degrees. The faculty and staff and trustees have required you to meet academic, ethical, and social standards, as have the Keuka classes before you. You can be proud of your achievements. We know you are well prepared. We are confident that you will use your knowledge, experience, and talents as you serve your communities, families, and the world. You are for now and always an important part of the Keuka family. Your alma mater cares deeply about you and will always welcome you back with open arms. With the class of 2013, please join me in thanking and congratulating the many people who helped make this day possible. First, your parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, spouses, children, friends, everybody, thank you. And now the faculty and administration of the Keuka College, thank you very much. Two Keuka College commencement traditions are the presentation of the class crests and the class gift. Would Devin Filipiak and Rhys Cunningham and Erica Ruscio come to the podium to present the class crest? You can come all the way up here. Devin, move. Yeah, we'll go over here. All right.
And then class members had the problems with the grades.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. Which Josh, thank you. Josh Weaver and Megan Marks come to the podium to present the class gift. Class gift is?
Sure. You want to go? Okay. Okay, again, good afternoon. My name is Megan Marks, and this is Josh Beaver.
Hello.
Our class gift actually is already bolted into the rock out in front of Dahlstrom. It's a sundial, so I hope you all enjoy it. Do you want to say anything else?
Oh,
We're just really proud of the class, and thank you for all you guys' hard work this year.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful gift. So the class of 2013, we at your alma mater now are grateful for your special gift. I saw the statue, it's beautiful. I have just 3 more reminders. Everyone is invited to a reception on the lawn immediately following the recessional. Diplomas are available in the registrar's office located in the basement of Ball Hall. The Alumni Association will present a gift to those graduates who have not received their gift yet in the Alumni Lounge on Ball Hall. Would you please stand and join me in singing the alma mater to be performed by the Keuka Brass Consort? Please remain standing for the benediction, which will be offered by Reverend Deder. Please remain standing for the recessional as well. Thank you very much for coming to spend this great day with us, and congratulations once more.
Keuka College graduating class of 2013 and guests. 4 years ago, many of us walked onto this campus for the first time together. We started our journey together at Teamworks, building relationships and singing about Mrs. Goonybird. Now you are college graduates, and it has been my privilege to get to know you, to build with you, and to serve you as your chaplain. While this final prayer may conclude our commencement day, it will not be the final time that I pray for you. Would you please pray with me? God, we are thankful for the gift of life, for the gift of faith, for the gift of family, for the gift of friendship, and for the community we call Keuka. We are thankful for the opportunities we have had today to reflect and to celebrate. We know obstacles have been overcome, Milestones have been reached, dreams have been realized, the future waits for us to walk into. We pray to be leaders that build a world of harmony, peace, inclusiveness, justice, and grace. We pray to be contributors and participants and not merely consumers and spectators. We pray for the courage to risk, to share our passion, to share our lives. We pray that we would continue to grow and pursue wisdom. We pray we would be people of grace, humility, and generosity. While this commencement marks an end to a very important chapter in our lives, it is also the start of something new. With thanksgiving, courage, and anticipation, we are ready to move forward. Amen.